believe their eyes when they saw 11 to 8. He's now into 11 to 10 in most places. Sweet Wake solid now at 9 to 4, and maybe some each way money for Ameeq. Now, can you get the 11 to 8, 5 to 4 on the exchanges?
This is the most contentiously traded horse over the 3 days. A little bit shorter than 11 to 8 now on the exchanges, but plenty of you still want to lay this horse at that price.
Well, let's have a look at the eye catchers, see if we can get some further clues here. Sweet Wake caught the eye in the paddock. Going to the post, both the Gary Moore trained runners, Varazi and Ameeq, moved well. In the betting ring, positive Sweet Wake, Ameeq. Exchanges positive Mahogany Blaze and Sweet Wake, and very interestingly Detroit City negative on the exchanges. There is the Triumph Hurdle and Cesarewitch winner. Certainly building quite an impressive big race portfolio in the colours of Terry Warner. Rooster Booster jacket, of course, as they walk in towards the tape. I wonder if Richard's going to make the running. He's certainly towards the 4 there with Mahogany Blaze in the blue sleeves. And they jump away then for this Greatwood handicap hurdle. 2 miles at 8 flights to jump. Detroit City from Mahogany Blaze. Aileron in a red cap over on the far side. Varazi close up. O'Toole, a stable companion of Detroit City, in the black and red jacket, about 5th. Then Caraman the far side. Sweet Wake in a sheepskin noseband, the green and yellow colours held up restrained, under heavy restraint. The Last Hurrah in a noseband, blue colours, and Ameeq also held up towards the rear. Detroit City. Connections very much testing the water here this afternoon to see if he's got sufficient speed and talent over 2 miles to entertain a crack at the champion hurdle here next March. He's not able to deliver today. It may be that he'll be aimed over longer distances. Detroit City from Mahogany Blaze. Aileron lands 3rd, Varazi is 4th, Caraman in 5th, then O'Toole, followed by the Last Hurrah, Sweet Wake 2nd last, and finally Ameeq about 8 or 9 lengths behind the leader as they head up the hill towards the back straight. And just an ordinary looking pace with Detroit City by 2.5 lengths to Mahogany Blaze. Aileron in the cheek pieces up the running rail. Varazi is next, and then O'Toole from Caraman. And the Last Hurrah towards the outside of Sweet Wake, and Ameeq still held up in last place by Ruby Walsh as they land over the first down the back. Long run now to the next, which will be flight number 4 and getting towards the halfway stage. Detroit City opens up with an advantage of about 4 or 5 lengths now. Striding out well, Detroit City, the 6 to 5 favourite. Sweet Wake 9 to 4, Ameeq at 8 to 1. Aileron 2nd, Mahogany Blaze is 3rd, Varazi, and then Caraman. O'Toole is 3 horses wide. The Last Hurrah, Sweet Wake, and Ameeq as they land over the next flight. One of them knocked it flat there, might have been Varazi up the inside. Didn't lose any ground though as they continue to climb towards the far side of the course, racing uphill towards the 4th last flight, and it's Detroit City by 2.5 lengths to Aileron in 2nd place. Detroit City and Richard Johnson have been in front all the way. 3 lengths to Aileron there. Caraman moves into 3rd. Mahogany Blaze now hard at work as they continue to climb. They're trapped by Varazi being stoked up. O'Toole wide. Sweet Wake still travelling sweetly in that green and yellow jacket, the noseband. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th place on the inside, just moving up a bit under Dennis O'Regan. They're followed out the back by the Last Hurrah. O'Toole towards the wide outside. Ameeq still in the rear, down the hill. Detroit City, Richard Johnson steering a fairly wide path. Aileron sticking towards the inside as they jump 3 out. Detroit City with a useful lead over Aileron. Caraman, Sweet Wake just getting a bit closer now. Certainly the one that's travelling best in behind the leader as they run down to the 2nd last. Detroit City very wide and quite well clear now, going to 2 out. Detroit City comes in to take it, and it's hard to tell, but he's a good 8 or 10 lengths clear, and Sweet Wake has got a lot of ground to make up now, goes into 2nd place. Aileron is 3rd, the rest are struggling, but turning for home, Detroit City is powering on. Sweet Wake still with 10 or 12 lengths to find. Then Aileron, Caraman, Ameeq is running on the far side, but this is one all right if he keeps going. Detroit City heading down to the final flight. He won't want for stamina, we presume. At the last, that wasn't his best effort, but he's still a dozen or 15 lengths clear. Caraman, Ameeq running on, Aileron, Sweetweight getting tired, but Detroit City has absolutely destroyed them. Detroit City under top weight wins the Greatwood. What a good horse he is. In second, Ameeq, then Caraman in third, Aileron four, Mahogany Blaze for Razi. Sweetweight got very tired up the hill, then O'Toole, followed by The Last Hurrah. Well, 3 cheers for Detroit City, 6-5 favourite here, led from flag fall to finish. It was really never in doubt. Richard Johnson steering the wide course, looking for the better ground. Well, they'll surely go for the champion now.
Well, Rooster Booster won this off 155, off a rating of 148. Richard Johnson, what was that like?
Don't think he'd run into the handicap anyway.
Wow.
A bit worried about there wasn't any pace. Jamie Spencer said at Newmarket that he thought maybe if he'd ridden him a handier, he might have found it easier. And to be honest, today we just let him bowl along. Didn't go too quick early and just tried to pick it up from the top of the hill. And you know, he's galloped away from them very easily.
You actually turned about 3 lengths into about 10-length lead.
I just let him stride on down the hill because obviously he stays very well, like 1 over 2 mile 2 on the flat. And to be honest with you, I never felt like I was ever really getting to the bottom of him. He's very nice.
Great sight, well done.
Thank you very much.
Stirring stuff, absolutely phenomenal horse, Detroit City. He's quoted a massive 6-1 with Paddy Power for the champion hurdle. That's the biggest quote so far. 4-1 with Labrooks. He's 4-1 with VC Bet. 9-2 Blue Square. Once again, quotes pouring in for this horse. He's now clear new favourite for the champion hurdle. Just listen to the cheers for him. Roars for Detroit City. They're just repeats of what Rooster Booster used to get as he used to walk down this walkway. Will he be following him in March for the champion hurdle victory? We'll soon find out. 6-5 favourite. He absolutely destroyed his rivals in this Greatwood handicap hurdle. Long way in second. You needed binoculars to find Ameeq at 8-1, and even further behind was number 11 Caraman at 50. Anything on the exchanges other than the fact those layers at 11-8 were barrels.
Well, not much to add to what Richard Johnson said. Won't be seeing him in a handicap again. He could have been more impressive, even though maybe the opposition wasn't top class, but can't easily dismiss the form of Sweetweight. None of those horses could go with him. Galloped in the ground and go down to the last. Richard Johnson had him over onto the far rail, better ground. All he needed to do was get over it. Not particularly pretty, but had the job done, really. And this is a really good performance. Amazing to have one good grey in Rooster Booster. Now Terry Warner has got one who, at the moment, at this stage of his career, Jim, you'd have to say is equal.
Well, potentially he could be even better. And it's Paul Nicholls' team that have, sorry, it's Philip Hobbs' team of 4-year-olds that have made the afternoon here at Cheltenham.
Well, Detroit City pulverises home by 14 lengths. Next Saturday, we've got the Peterborough from Huntingdon. We're also at Lingfield. And, of course, on the 25th, it's Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup Day from Newbury and the famous Fighting Fifth at Newcastle. An absolutely superb afternoon. Here comes Detroit City. He's really captured the public imagination with that performance. Philip Hobbs turned up an Arkle contender in Ferrolong and a really serious champion hurdle contender in Detroit City. A fantastic climax to a marvellous 3-day open meeting from Cheltenham. There's a big grey back on the scene. It's Detroit City.